And welcome back to the Call of Duty Championships presented by Xbox. You know us. Well, hopefully you love us. I'm Golden Boy. This is Benson. And how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, bro. I'm
good?
doing really good. I'm jealous as hell.
Oh, of my Xbox pen?
How badass.
Yeah. Big shout out to my good friend Major Nelson for the hookup.
If you see him tweet later on, I lost my pin.
He stole it, essentially. So what you're saying is you're admitting on stream that you will commit theft.
No, I'm telling everyone.
Oh, so you're
I'm basically saying it's not me.
Okay, sure. All right. Guys, got a good matchup. I'm really excited about this one. Immunity going up against Team EnVy. Of course, you guys all know EnVy, but Immunity from Australia, team that really made a name for themselves out there, went out, considered one of the stronger teams in the Australian region, ends up losing the Australian finals to T1 Daughters, trying T1 Daughters. Now they and Immunity is a very successful team, which is very interesting. Had a chance to speak with them, feel very confident going into this matchup against EnVy.
Woo.
They feel confident. They're like, if we could shut down Study and the AR and force him to have to use an SMG, force them to have to play our way, they'll be able to win. I'm just saying.
I'm not counting them out. I am not counting them out. I mean, there was too many times, I think, last year where a lot of people can agree where you looked at a match and you're kind of like,
Yeah.
This year, you look at every match and you're like,
I feel like
this is
everyone's
important.
just
This is
stepped
important.
up their game, 110%, which is incredible, And of course, Benson, he's dying. We're just gonna continue to acknowledge that there's gonna be occasions where Ben is talking and it just stops and it goes silent. That is because he is on the floor, coughing, gasping for air. But the good thing, the makeup does not show the red.
Thanks, bro.
I got you, bud. Anytime.
You'd think he'd be a good friend, and potentially like with the CP. Actually, no, I don't want to. No mouth to mouth. That's where we draw the line.
The line is
drawn in mouth to mouth.
You and I are bros, forever bros. The line right there.
I mean, wait. So what you're trying to say is, if I was dying, you wouldn't give me?
No, not at all. You were just on the floor, gasping for air.
I have the best friends. I really do.
Oh,
I have the best friends.
So, all right, let's talk about this.
Crazy.
You got off of Charlie's stream. You had a pretty good game. What was up there?
It was actually a relatively close game. Well, no, it wasn't. TK all day.
TK all day. Who did they
Theory.
play against?
Rain Mix. Theory. He almost dropped 50 kills in domination.
Really?
He had 49.
Goodness gracious.
It was one of those moments where you just sat watching and you're like,
Theory, he has a tendency to do that kind of stuff. Just,
it's Theory, right? It basically turned into the Theory show, I'm not going to lie. And then TK, when it came to the Blitz, it was basically, I ran into them actually after. I just, ran to get a drink and whatnot, and they were, walking towards me. And I was like, hey, Sharp, really well done. Congrats on your first win. He was like, yeah. I was like, you were playing for stats, weren't you? He was like, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
He wants to get the most Blitz caps, apparently.
Okay, so he wants to be that guy. Well, it seems like the EnVy Immunity game has started, and we're joining the game right now. Was a little late on the join there, so sorry about that, guys. But we'll go ahead and get into the action.
Enough,
and it seems like things are already heating up here, so let's go ahead and jump right in. We have about 3 minutes and 15 seconds left on the clock between these two teams, and it seems to be that our friends over on EnVy are down right now in this domination strike zone.
So, it looks like they're playing Immunity's game. That must be the key. How's Study playing 4-4? So, I mean, not really been shut down, but Immunity, I just think they have a massive point to prove. I think they want to be taken seriously. Everyone in Australia says, these guys are good. They can hang with the best. This is their chance. Show us what you can do on the biggest stage of Call of Duty. And one of the biggest names in Call of Duty as well, Team EnVyUs. Everybody and their mother knows who Team EnVyUs is.
You think about it like this. A win for EnVy or a win for Immunity, in this matchup would just send ramifications to the rest of that group.
Right.
It'll be insane.
It'll be crazy.
But granted, though, it's EnVy. I never count them out. They are currently going to be down by 5 points. That's easily attainable. They are going to go for that trip cap here, and they do get the neutralization over by C as Immunity, Buzo, and Shocks are going to continue to make moves in that direction. Let's see what they could do here as they advance toward B.
That was a big couple of kills as worth mentioning as well, just defending that C flag. That's to amp up the pressure. It's going to be a tied game. In fact, it was a tied game. EnVy now starting to really build that lead. They have that 2 cap, A and B under their control. Study has to defend this B flag. This is an important gunfight. Wins it. That was Buzzo. However, all of his teammates go down. They were right. Shut down Study. They have a good chance, but Study right now playing pretty well, heating up.
bear in mind, Ben, bear in mind, they are pushing after A. So they're pushing after A. They do have control there. They have a player pushing up by C. This is actually going to be Study working with, I believe that's going to be Rambo. So as Study likes to say, Grandpa Rambo is going to be.
Is that what he calls him?
Yeah, he's like a father figure to him, you know.
Bless.
Study's a young player. Rambo's the veteran, you know, helping each other out. It's pretty cool stuff. But it seems like EnVy now starting to build up on that lead. Immunity came out very strong since then, not able to rack up as many kills as they wanted, with Nameless pushing out over by A, winning that gun battle with ease. And you're going to see that the boys in Immunity continuously having to rotate because they keep on losing those gun battles. They can't get their bearings together as EnVy starts to heat up.
And that's just standard strike zone as a map in general. Just the amount of times you're going to have to rotate, especially when you have a team putting on a lot of pressure.
Yes.
But right now, Study,
Yes.
8-point streak, 9-point streak for him.
No, never mind. You jinxed him.
You know, I was trying to give him some belief. You know,
right?
I believe.
Believe in the Study. So you have A and B in favor of Immunity here. There's going to be a couple of opportunities for them to rack. This will be an opportunity, for them to rack up some points now. If they can continue to hold this one down, that'd be great. Rambo on your screen, waiting for the prime opportunity to move in here. 27 seconds left on the clock. Rambo finding one, going for that jumper on the corner. Can't quite find anything. Wrapping around the side. Their teammates are going to be there for that coverage, and they do manage to get control. It'll be alternatively Immunity going right after C again.
That was a really good rotation from Immunity as well. As soon as they recognized that gunfight was on, they immediately rotated across the side. Rambo there with a nice shot there, shutting down Rampsey. Is he going to be able to just jump on that A flag? Not going to matter. That's going to be 7. Is it going to tick over?
Nope.
7 points. And looking at that first side, I think we've got a series on our hand.
I do. I agree. I agree with you 110%, Benson, because when you think about it, people look at it and they're like, oh, yeah, EnVy will be able to take out Immunity. I think it's going to be easy 3-0 for their pool. No, This is the Call of Duty Championships. You do not just say, yeah, it's going to be easy 3-0. These teams are here for a reason. Immunity was one of the teams that a lot of people write off the Australian teams.
Right.
They do. And I feel like it's unjustified because, granted, they have not had that opportunity to test their mettle against some of the better players in North America and in Europe. But just if you're good, you're good. You know what I mean? If you study, if you do your research, if you know what to do, you're good. That's the way I always look at it.
From everything Bio was telling me, he was saying these guys have researched every single strat EnVy have. They know it. Every single strat. They're aware. They have good ideas, good concepts of exactly what EnVy is going to do.
Exactly.
And, I mean, what more could you ask for? Because you know, EnVy aren't going to underestimate Immunity, but I don't think they're going to have done as much research as potentially they could have done. Obviously, they had TCM at the team house. They were landing against them, but you know the way TCM and the way Immunity are going to play, difference.
Yeah, and I also think that for EnVy, it's just a matter of let's just play our game, right? We're just going to play our game and do what we do best, which is dominate, which is slay, which is be one of the best teams in the world. I think that sometimes that's not the best approach because you don't know what these guys are going to bring to the table. Sure. And it's going to be very hard. I would have looked at the Australian footage, see what happened over there for the Australian championship, and just get a feel for how Immunity played at the very least. Are they heavy on SMGs? Are they heavy on pushing,
just
aggression?
The basics, right?
The basic stuff, right? And perhaps they did because, I mean, when you talk about EnVy, you talk about Rambo. I mean, he's a guy who he does his homework.
If you don't know who Rambo is,
you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong.
I agree.
So now we have a 7-point lead in favor of EnVy going into the second half. Can you see EnVy taking this first game?
I want to say no because I want a series on my hands, but at the same time, the experience that they possess, Merc and Rambo, it depends on Study. Okay. I'm going to agree with what I mean to say. If Study has a good game, they're going to take it. If somehow Study gets shut down, could go either way, but let's dive straight back into the action now.
Let's go.
On board with Shox.
Shox from Immunity here, pushing up immediately there with Nakizi. As he gets aggressive inside of B. There's going to be no players for EnVy pushing inside of there alternatively. So it seems like they opted to push straight around by C. There's going to be one player there for the defense. It's going to be Buzo. Buzo finding one. Can he line up a double? He knows that the player's going to be playing. Ring around the Rosie, and he can't quite do it as he gets taken out. Rampezi, though. He's got Rampsey. I apologize. He is going to push out. I would say Rampezi,
Rapunzel?
you know? Rapunzel, you know?
We could go with that. Change the game attack.
I don't see why not. I mean, we can do whatever we want. Anyway, but Rampsey is going to continue to push on forward toward B, finding one player on the side. It's going to be Nameless, getting him with a hit fire.
No way!
And a beautiful double, but he can't follow it up. Study will be there for the stop, but Buzo right back, answering again as he takes out one teammate there for the pick. And it seems like Immunity already able to establish some kind of lead here, but it is so small that Envy will be able to answer back. Despite that, though, I apologize, they're down by 3, but still, it is anyone's ball game with 3 minutes and 55 seconds on the clock, Ben.
Ramsey has started so very well.
I agree.
5 and 3. Picked up, really impressive 2 pieces. And playing against one of the best teams. There's another 2-piece for him, and he's going to try and jump on the A flag. Didn't expect Rambo Ray to be just lying there waiting for him. Once they goes towards B flag, just didn't see his name once he was in the corner.
Now, look at this here. They're going to go after B. They get B. They have to have that player that's going to have to respond on C. And they neutralize it, which is devastating for them. Merc, though, on your screen, switching over to Envy, seeing what they're going to be doing, finding one player. That was going to be Buzo pushing out. He knows that Ramsey could potentially be by C. He's going to have a teammate behind him as he gets taken out. The push is going to be thwarted. Buzo, though, struggling 1 and 5 as they advance toward A to try and see if they can make this one happen. One player's going to be waiting there. Buzo, a little late on the response. Ramsey is going to continue to defend by C, and they need to get Ramsey inside of B. He has the hot hand. They need to get him in a position where he can make some kills happen.
Right now, though, it's just EnVyUs starting to pull away. You can see they've rotated quite nicely. Shox, he's dived on that B flag, but Envy straight away. Reactions like a cat on that C flag. So they're going to keep that 2-1 flag advantage. And Rambo, credit, 8 and 3 right now with those 2 caps as well. Buzzer's going to try and make some plays, though, at this C flag. There's going to be a player just up top. Is he going to see him? There he is, flying down.
My goodness.
Merc doesn't waste any time at all. Oh,
Ramsey.
wow.
Ramsey, he has the hot hand. That's what I'm saying, Ben. You have to get Ramsey in a position where he can kill. He needs Buzo and his teammates to step it up, put him in a spot where he can slay and get those critical positions for his team, because right now that's just not happening. They're going to be down by 20 points here, plus the 7 that they're down, so 27 points in total with 2 minutes and 7 seconds left on the clock. Envy looking very dominant, showing why they are one of the best teams to compete in Call of Duty.
I mean, it just seems unfortunate. It's these 2 pieces that are going down that Immunity manages to get. They're just not in the correct positions, if that makes sense. Like the 2-piece that we just saw there. It was a good 2-piece, but they didn't have the presence in B. So
no, they didn't.
They weren't really able to capitalize this. That's
Knives for days, my goodness.
Knives on knives on knives on knives on knives.
Bringing a knife to a gunfight. All right, I peep. I feel it.
No. Just no.
What are you talking about? Okay, you want to fight? We'll fight.
No, we won't. Because this guy, Ramsey, on your screen is just having...
He's going to be a player to watch for this entire series, honestly.
Sensational. I'm curious to see if he can follow this through in Search and Destroy.
Yeah.
Search and Destroy is going to be one of those games that realistically Immunity have a chance of winning against any other team. I just think when they go up against Envy, though, Envy Search and Destroy strats are godlike. So I'm praying to God that situation close, but this domination is pretty much all but over.
Yeah, 1 minute left on the clock here, 74 to 44, 30 points, plus that 7-point lead they had in that first half. That will make it a 37-point lead with 56 seconds left on the clock. Ramsey gets shut down. Great performance out of him, 16 and 13. On the other side, though, all of Envy performing very well. 13-11 for Merc, Nameless, putting 11-9. You have 12-10 for Study, and 14-7 for Rambo.
Rambo really has been exceptional this tournament. He finished 2nd at last year. We've got to give him some props. You know, he's a player that actually retired. Well, I say retired. He left playing to go to coaching. He was originally going to be a coach for this event before
Rambo wasn't having that, though.
Yeah, we had that crazy month where it was just roster changes galore. And he came back and decided to play. And if I'm honest, he looks better than ever before. I'm really excited to see how Envy play in this tournament.
Very true, and that is pretty much going to wrap things up here with a couple of seconds to go. 7 seconds to be exact, 90 to 57. Of course, when you add on all those scores, it is very clear that Envy, Akizi, what are you doing there, buddy? So 92 to 58, that is your final result. Envy taking Game 1 decidingly. Now moving on to Search and Destroy. Like you said, Vincent, this could be that chance, that opportunity for them to be able to win and make this 1-1 in the series.
But for me, they need to win the Search and Destroy. It's a must-win.
It's make or break.
It is, because if you can go 1-1 in the series, you can sit there and you can build momentum upon it. You can be like, hey, we can do this, guys. Like this, we can genuinely do this. I mean, it's all good and well believing it, but then actually being able to take a map and leveling up a series is a completely different thing. If they could do that, though, they can go into that 3rd map and be like, hey, let's do this.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
we
I
can
agree.
genuinely do this, and they can build upon that belief and potentially turn this into one of the best series so far. I mean, I
be
genuinely
good.
think it has the momentum and it has the chance to be one of the best series of the day.
All right, well, we're going to find out how all this unfolds in just a bit. When we come back, Game 2, Search and Destroy between Envy and Immunity. Can Immunity answer back and tie the series at 1-1? Find out after this.